What's up YouTube? My name's Quickie, welcome back to the channel. I am having a nightmare day. Again, I'm having plenty of these at the minute. Last night, I went home having made the slitting saw arbor, which you would have seen the video for by now. I'll explain why that's funny in a minute. But I got right to the end of it and the laptop died. And then it won't turn on again and it's completely dead. I think the charger's knackered. So this morning, being Saturday, I took it into PC World where I bought it from. It's 2 weeks out of warranty, because it would be, and said, yeah, I reckon the charger's buggered. Can you test it? And she says, well, we can test it, but unless it's plugged into something, it won't pass a charge. I said, well, that's all right. There's the laptop. Off you go. Plug it in. Crack it. She plugs it in, goes, yeah, it's not charging. Genius. Genius. So I said, well, I've metered it, there's nothing coming out. Well, there normally isn't until it's plugged into something and there's a drawer on it. Okay, all right. Well, if you've got another charger, then we can just plug it into and we can try it. And if it's a charger, I'll just buy another one because it's 2 weeks out of warranty. Oh, no, we don't do these chargers. We do a generic one. But that's not going to be man enough to charge this, so it ain't going to charge. Genius. So they'll sell you a laptop, but they won't sell you a charger for it because they don't do it. You have to go to Acer, and because it's now Saturday, they're shut, so I can't even speak to them and get another one sorted. It's just one thing after another, isn't it? So I'm carrying on filming all this stuff regardless, in the hope that I can speak to them on Monday and get a charger down so I can finish editing that other video, which I can then stick up, and then I'll edit this video and I'll stick this one up, and then it's all going to make sense, but you ain't going to care because you just have one video after another. Oh! Right, what am I doing? Rant over. What I want to do is to get this slit and the clamps on it, and I want to stick it on the bike and have a look. I know it's not rounded over or anything else, that'll be the next job, but I really want to see what it's going to look like. So that's what I'm doing. I've already made the arbour, as you've seen. I've run a few more tests and it seems to be okay. It's just annoying, it's got that wobble to it, but let me stick it up here and I'll mark it up and I'll show you how I'm doing it, because it's not going to be the best of ways, but you'll see what my thoughts are. Hang on. Right, I should have done a drawing for this, I know, but I haven't. We're winging it. We're officially off book now. So, that being the back, basically I want to slit it down here. The stock one has got a 2.5mm slit in it, and then a clamp. I'm going to use these M8s. Which should do the job. That's what's in the original and stuff as well anyway. So from the top, basically I want it to come into the top of this. There's like a radius in there, so I want the slit to basically take up that distance in the radius, and then essentially go basically to the centre of the fork tip, just because I think it's going to look better. So I've got my bung, it can go in there. And I want him only just sticking out, so I want something under there. What we've got? What have I got? That'll do. Right then. So, actually, let's mark this first. Where's my pen? Right, so the top of the radius is there. Bottom of it's about there. I'm not using a Sharpie, I'm using a fine pen because I want to be quite sort of precise with this if I can. Sharpies are just too big. Right, so that's like that. There and there. Right. So then if I shove my bung in so he's just in, like that, centre finder he can sit on there. It's going to be about there. This isn't ideal because it does step down, but it will give me a good enough idea, I think. Ish. Right then. Right, so that's where that's going to be. And that'll be the base of the slot, and I want the screw to go in sort of perpendicular to that. I want to keep 5mm there and 5mm here if I can, so basically the screw is just going to touch down on this edge, be central to that, and we should be okay, I think. There is no washer under the stock one, so this isn't going to have a washer. The slot's going to be 2.5mm. Come on, Mark. So that's going to be the bit that gets chomped out. I ain't going to bother marking it on the top because I'm going to be looking at this side. So that is what I think we're going to do. Yeah, it just gives me 5mm. Just gives me 5mm, which would be fine. That will clamp it up. Right, so I'm going to do that one first. See how we go. It's going to be interesting trying to mount it. I think we're going to have to mount it like that and then move it along with the slitting saw like this. I've cut deeper than this, I think. It's gonna be tight, ideally. Oh, bloody hell, that is tight. Right, so I might be hand feeding it. I have to mount it that way. The slitting saw basically like that. I think we will just get through, but it is gonna be close. Right, I'll take it back. This is the dumbest setup I've ever done. Oh my god, I have been cocking about for like an hour and a half. I've tried 6 different ways of getting this done. This is the best I can come up with, and I'm not sure it's going to do the do, but we're going to give it a go. The trouble that I've got is because where the slots are in the bed, and also the slots on this backing plate, I'm really limited on where I can put clamps and how I can sort of orientate everything. And given the shape and size of the yoke as well, it is really awkward to try and get this horizontal, because obviously I'm limited on how far that tool comes down and how far I can actually move the knee down as well. So it is really, really awkward. So to explain, that's all clamped down as it should be. and the angle plate ain't going anywhere, and it's basically perpendicular to the bed. In the back here, between that, I've packed it out with a load of scrap material that I've got, and it is bottomed out on the bed as well, so the yoke is actually touching there. I've got this main clamp up here, which is fixing as high as I can, really, given the slot, because you see from this side where the slots are. Trying to get something in there to clamp it is really bloody awkward. So that clamps in there and is hoofed down, and then just because I had another one, I thought, we'll stick it on, it ain't gonna hurt. I've shoved that clamp on as well, because obviously the back of this bit is flat against the back plate. So it is not good. The other thing is that I'm probably going to have to come at it from this side. So ideally I would have gone, if you look like that, essentially the saw would have travelled from right to left and gone through and made the cut. However, because of this slopey bit here, and because the cap underneath is square, it touches, and I would need to modify this and basically take it right up to where the bolt is that goes through the middle, and I don't want to do that because that's the clamping bolt for the saw. So it's really awkward. I'm going to have to come at it from this side, so the saw will go from right to left, because then I can get hard up against it, and with the amount of blade that's sticking out here from the arbour, I can just, and I do mean just, get all the way through. But this is not how I wanted to do it. If you imagine the tool pressure that slitting saw is going to cause on the top, which is sticking up, and the clamps in the middle, the reason that these G-clamps are on is to try and stop it twisting like that. We're going to have to go so slowly, it's going to be ridiculous. But I can't really see another way of doing it. The other way would be to come from this side, which I would prefer to do, because any twisting moment, obviously it would drive the bottom into the angle plate, which ain't going anywhere. But the trouble is I've got that slope there, and the cap ain't going to clear it, so I am proper limited on options here. Hopefully this is going to work. If not, I'll be trashing the yoke that I've just spent weeks making. Right, let's get it set up and give it a go, eh? Right. I still haven't wired in my DRO yet, so it's, you know, the thingy over there. So he needs to go in an extension. Come on. Like that. That is how we're going to do it, I think. Actually, he only just needs to squeak out, doesn't he? Right. Well, that's through, so that'll do. So actually I'll just zero everything just that way, because I'm not changing my setup again, so I can come back to this. First up, I need to get those holes drilled in, because I don't want to be drilling it after I've slit it. I don't think. I'm going to have to go back and do that flat on top. What am I missing? What am I... Right, I think we're all set up. I think. Switch back onto Absolute. Got back basically on my marks. This is all going to be done by hand anyway. I'm not using tape or feeds because I can't. I have had a square on top of it. I've checked my lines. I've used a rule, and then I measured it with a rule, and then I got a different rule just in case that rule was defective in some way. I mean, I've got it as cock on as I can possibly get it. I can't think of I can't think of anything else to check. It's like, it's a leap of faith now, it really is. Hang on, where's my brew? Well, I've changed my mind again. The way I was going to do it was to come from the back, coming forwards. Spindle rotates that way, so obviously the tool goes that way as well, and if that was an end mill, I would be what's known as climb milling, which isn't a good thing. It sets up this vibration, and it's not good. You can get a lovely finish with it. I don't like doing it much. I would much prefer to do conventional milling. So I've come out and come this way a bit, and the idea is that I'm going to scoot in, which is going to put me on this, like, I'm not quite on centre line, but I'm a damn sight more on centre line than if I was doing it the other way. And I'm just going to use the feed to go in, because that seemed to work quite well. We should just, I reckon, at a guess, just come through on this side and clear this inside bore, and if we do, then I'll kill the auto feed and I'll wind it sort of back, going that way to finish off the cut. I shouldn't have moved that, should I? I had it all set up. But that's what I'm going to do, I think. I would just be happier doing, conventional milling. I don't suppose it really, well, it probably does matter with a slitting saw. I don't know. I really don't know. Where's my square? I just want to check I am clear of that. Just maybe come out a little bit more, eh? Right, okay. Stop cocking about and just get on with it. Right, please don't cock it up. Please don't cock it up. Worked hard on this. Right, okay. Right, that's all good. Not good. Bloody hell. Right. It's too deep a cut for it. That's what it is. Right, I need to get that out and reset things. Right, so much for that brainwave. That didn't work, did it? Right. We're back to plan A. Climb milling. Don't like it much. Well, actually, where's my thing? Just want to make sure that bolt is properly done up. There we go. See, you did come loose. And you're spinning in the collet. Don't want to knock that off. Habit. Oh no, you are done up. So you was spinning in the collet. Right. Right, it's all still set. Right, let's give it a go then, eh? I was pooing myself the whole time. I didn't like that at all. Put so much work into this already, just to go and chomp a slit in it and cock it all up at that point would be a nightmare. But it did do good. That is a lovely finish in there as well. I've got to get all this out, so I've got to change it all around, and I want to have a bit of a clean up before I do so, but I'll get it out and I'll show you what's happened. Right, I've had to clean my paws up. It's covered in oil, and the more I was trying to clean it, the more I was just getting it oily, but it has come up nice. Couple of little burrs. Where's my file? That really has come down to a point as well, isn't it? I need to round these corners off a bit anyway. I think I might leave them sharp because it does sort of go. But let me get a picture. Prop up against something. You'll do. And I'll show you what it looks like. It came out really good. My heart sank when the saw stopped that first attempt. That was not very good. Camera. Go away, I'm busy. One like that. I'm going to do one from the top. Sweet! Right. It is good. That is going to work a treat. What I'm going to do is... I shouldn't have jumped the gun. I should have left it in the mill, because what I should have done was to run a bit through there just to give me a clearance gap, because obviously I've got to get a bolt through there and I don't want to thread that bit as well. I got a bit excited, didn't I? But I'll open that up, that's easy enough, and I've got to tap that hole that has been drilled into here so it accepts the bolt, and then I've just got to do it all on the other side as well. I'm pleased with that. I had thoughts of just all this work just completely cocking it up, but that's come out well. That's come out very well. Right, let's get set up for the next bit. It is now another day and I've been busy. I did slit the other side and stuff with a clamp, and I've done it. I didn't bother showing you because you've already seen the first one, but I wanted to see what it was going to look like, so I'm just mocking stuff up. He'll do, he's nipped up. And that's what we've got so far. I am quite liking it, if I'm honest. Quite a lot, actually. I just wanted to see what everything was going to look like, because obviously the yokes drop down, so the forks go down that 40mm that was missing, so I get all my travel back, which is a good thing. There are still a couple of bits and bobs to do, but it's not looking too shabby. I will get some pictures and stick them up, but I'll bring you in, show you the top. Yeah, I've been busy. I have been busy. I got the other clamp done, and the whole thing has been, I just wanted to see what it fitted like and what it looked like and everything else. So you can see I've got both clamps done here and here, which is all good. This isn't screwed on at the minute because I still need to do the recess in here, which is basically going to be the depth of these flats. So I can get a washer underneath it, a socket around it, and that will sink in there. So just the domed part of that nut is going to be sticking out. It is just as snug gets. I mean, if you look there, everything lined up perfectly. This just sort of slipped into place. You had to tell it to go on. I didn't have to bash it. You wiggle it and it does just make its way down, but you have to put it on square. So the bit I'm most pleased about is just the fit up of this thing. I think it is going to look better with like a half spherical headlamp rather than that silly shaped one. I don't know what I might do because I've still got half of that ball left. So if I was to get like a fully spherical headlamp bowl, then what I might do is cut a hole in it and sink this into it, so sort of one goes a little bit into the other. You know, a little bit of a gap. I don't know, I'm just playing about with ideas, but it's all sort of getting there. I've got all the switch gear and everything else is coming off. That's all got to get sorted. But I do quite like it, and I definitely like the look from the front. I think that is quite cool, actually. I think that's very cool. I'm pleased with it. It will look better once the speedo cover's all powder coated black, I think, and it's definitely going to help when I round all these corners over, but that's going to be the next job. So if you look at the bottom, everything is radiused, and I have got some radius cutters, like high-speed steel router bits. So that's basically what's going to happen here. There's going to be a few corners like this one and this one up here, which I can't do with the cutters, so we'll have to do those by hand. But shouldn't really be a biggie, and I think it is going to make it look a lot less boxy. But it's going to be dead simple. I'm thinking for me idiot lights, I'm probably going to have one there and one there, or I'm just going to have two sort of down on one side. I haven't really decided yet. I did have a chat with Brett in the tool room, and I can get the CNC mill on the case with a little cutter and just put oil and neutral next to the lamps, and then what I'll probably do is, once everything's all dressed up and everything else, I'll fill that with enamel paint and then brush over top, so I just get inset black lettering or something like that. I think that could look quite good. But once this is all dressed up and cleaned up and a nice finish put on it, I think it's going to look awesome. Still need to hog the bottom out, that's all solid. But that can basically wait for a bit, I think. So that's it, that's where I'm leaving it today, I think. I'm pleased with it, it does look good. It looks how I wanted it to look, put it that way. Once it's all rounded off, I think it's going to look better, and the nut sunk. It's the little details and stuff now. All the donkey work and the nasty stuff is all done. But yeah, it has come out well. From the first set of yokes, I am properly chuffed with that. So anyway, that's where I'm leaving it today. Thank you ever so much for watching. We will see you again on the next one. Laters!